Welcome to the premiere episode of Behind the Scenes. I'm Chris O'Regan, and in this episode we're going to be taking a look at John Carpenter's original Halloween. Although not the first slasher film, with notable mentions going to Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Black Christmas, Halloween does take credit for popularising the genre in the 1980s and also highlighting the female lead. Halloween was actually originally intended to be called The Babysitter Murders. It took just 2 weeks to write and only 20 days to film on a budget of $300,000, which is around $2 million in today's money. It grossed $47 million at the box office, which is around $288 million in today's money. It became the highest grossing independent film at that time. John Carpenter originally wanted Annie Lockhart to play the role of Laurie Strode. Annie's mother June starred in Lassie. She has and continues to work regularly, but doesn't appear to have had any starring roles. The role of Laurie, of course, eventually went to Jamie Lee Curtis, who auditioned 3 times for the part. The number of kills. There were 7 deaths, including 2 dogs, which is quite a rarity in the horror genre at the time. Judith Myers stabbed 9 times in the chest and stomach. Truck driver mechanic Christopher Hastings beaten to death or shot. We're not entirely sure. Dog, cause of death unknown, but was definitely eaten. Lester the dog strangled to death. Annie Brackett throat slit. Bob Sims stabbed in the chest and pinned to the cupboard. Linda Vanderklok strangled with a telephone cord. In order to fill the 2-hour time slot required for TV, against his better judgment, John Carpenter actually filmed some additional scenes while filming Halloween 2. These included Dr. Loomis at a hearing review for young Michael and confronting Michael in his room, Loomis discovering Michael had escaped and written the word sister on his door. The latter scene added to Michael becoming known as Laurie's brother in Halloween 2, something that would later be removed in the timeline when we had the 2018 sequel, which ignored all previous sequels and was a direct follow-on from the original 1978 film. It's always been questionable as to how Michael learned to drive a car. In the film, Dr. Loomis actually addressed this and suggested that somebody must have taught him. However, there is a rare book written by Curtis Richards that delves a little deeper into the psychology of Michael Myers and actually suggests that all the times Loomis had driven Michael to his hearings, Michael may have learned by observation. Hollywood is actually really well known for using old actors to play teenage roles. I certainly know, I don't know about anybody else, but I know that as a kid growing up, I couldn't understand. I thought American teenagers just naturally looked older than British teenagers. Because 15-year-old me couldn't figure out why a 15, 16-year-old kid in a film looked about 20 plus. And in actual fact, in Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis was the only person that was actually in her teens while filming. She was 19 years old at the time. The abandoned state of the Myers house was actually how they found it. In actual fact, the scenes where it looked rough and abandoned were filmed first, and then they had to try and clean it up to make it look like an actual lived-in house. When John Carpenter was in college, he actually visited a psychiatric hospital where he met a child who he described as staring at him with the look of the devil, and it terrified me. This gave him the basis for the Michael Myers character. Before they filmed Halloween, John Carpenter, Tommy Lee Wallace and Nick Castle were actually in a rock band together, and they were called the Coupe de Villes. The next Halloween movie, Halloween Kills, was originally scheduled to be released in October 2020. However, due to COVID-19, that's been delayed till October 2021. But when that actually happens, Jamie Lee Curtis will have actually appeared as Laurie Strode across 6 different decades. Halloween in 1978, Halloween 2 in 1981, Halloween H2O 20 years later in 1998, Halloween Resurrection in 2002, Halloween the direct follow-on from the original Halloween in 2018. We'll then have Halloween Kills in 2021, and then finally Halloween Ends in 2022, which is going to suggest that Laurie Strode will survive the next Halloween movie, but will she survive the third and final part of the new trilogy? I hope you've enjoyed the premiere episode of Behind the Scenes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and give me your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you join us next time when we'll be taking a look at Superman the movie.